Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today we're actually going to get into a little bit of a touchy subject. This is religion. I don't know if we ever mentioned religion on the channel before, but this is going to be a specific aspect of it. And this came about from a conversation that I had with somebody, a close family member, in regards to what I like to call the difference between owning a God or being of his word and will. So a lot of times we'll come across people, and obviously religion is a touchy subject, but we come across people who will very much try to preach, the ways of, say, God, religion, their particular belief. And, it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you have a few people who will preach those words and just say, well, I hope you receive it. And however you do with it is what you do with it. And that's fine. Then you have another set of people who will say, I don't just want you to receive this. I want you to do it the way I'm telling you, as opposed to even if you are religious and you have your beliefs, whether they're different beliefs or whether they are the same beliefs in terms of religion, but they may even say, okay, but because you aren't going to my church, you could be Christian. For example, we'll use Christianity. You could be Christian, I could be Christian, but you aren't coming to my church. I'm not able to monitor how you are doing your beliefs. So I need you to come to mine and listen to mine, not yours. And this is done often too, where someone that they respect in the eyes of religion, they'll accept that person having a different place that they go to, a different way of belief, and someone that they think is less of a believer in their mind, they'll then try to make that person do it in the way they say they should do it. And in my mind, that's you owning your God as opposed to just being part of the word or the will or the belief of the God. What do I mean by that when I say you're owning them? What I mean is that you shaped and designed God and the belief in the way you see fit. And so you need someone to believe it in the way you created your God in your mind, not so much just that there is a God. And even if it's of the same religion, you can have the same religion. So you guys should be under the same umbrella. But when you have some people who say it's not enough that you're under the same religion, that one's not my God. This one's my God, the one I control, the one I describe how it is. At that point, that person is more so owning God rather than being a part of that God or that God's will or belief. So in this same kind of dynamic and conversation that I had mentioned about how some people will believe in their own way, that God speaks to them in his own way and has a plan for them. And this person had mentioned, and like I said, if you encounter people who are like this is just simply a way of just noting this type of dynamic of way of belief where someone owns their God rather than being a part of that God's will. Where the person has said to me, I understand, but sometimes we hear voices. And so what we hear is not actually God, but we hear devils, we hear demons, you're hearing false prophets that you believe in. So, you need to come to where I go, and that will be, you need to get a piece of something real because you don't want to be worshiping the fake thing, where no one will know what aspect of God is real and what's fake and what. No one could know that. We're mortals. And the moment you start thinking, like I said, that's when you start owning God. You feel that you own God, essentially. You don't say it that way, but you do, because you feel that you can determine whose is real, whose thoughts are real and what's not, even if you are of the same belief or similar belief. And my answer to that also, or response to that, was also like similar to a CEO of a company who has all these workers in a building. We'll say you have this really big building, it's 10 stories, I will say. And you're the CEO at the top floor. Everybody at floor 9 may not know what everyone on floor 8's doing, who might not know what floor 7 doing, and so on and so forth. But you know, because you're the overall architecture of all of that's going on. You're the one putting it all into plan and into play. So you might say, well, I need the people on floor 9 to do this other piece of the puzzle, and I need people on floor 8 to do this other piece of the puzzle. And then when it all starts coming together from all the floors, I'll know how the final image looks, but they won't know how the final image looks on each of their floors because they don't have the full puzzle. And that's essentially how things work. But like I said, when somebody owns their God rather than being a part of his will, they have to control that God in a way where they say, I need your belief to fit in what I understand. So they will kind of come at you from that angle. And what's very interesting about all that collectively is that it's like we don't know what plans are made for anybody or how they're going to receive God or this and that, and everyone receives things a different way. But I always thought what was very interesting is that I used to always say, if God came down here and spoke to somebody, everyone who's a believer of God would not even believe God if they actually saw him. Because, well, not if they actually saw him. If someone else actually saw them and told them, I seen God, no one will believe it. So how ironic is that for all the millions of people that believe in some kind of religion, believe in God, or say they believe in God, if you said, I seen him, he came to you and spoke to you, and you told everyone else, I seen him, that all those believers wouldn't even believe you. So it becomes almost a contradiction to say that I believe that amazing things can happen or someone can be spoke to, but then you won't believe it if someone actually told it to you. And that is, like I said, part of a person owning their God as opposed to being a part of their God's will. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there, a little bit of food for thought, because like I said, it was an interesting conversation, and realizing that, understanding the difference once I realized that, and coining it a name to say that this is when people own their God as opposed to being a part of their God's will, is that they actually make the rules for their God. They dictate how their God is going to be, how their God is going to make his plans. They know, they're going to claim that they may not know the future, but they're going to claim that they know how he does not operate. And they'll say, my God, essentially they're saying he can't come at you and give you enlightenment because I say so, essentially is what's happening. But they're going to paint it in the picture of that's not how he would do it. Or maybe you're getting a false responses, or what you're hearing voices is not real. Maybe you're just going crazy in your head, but that's not real. Or, the enlightenment that you got when God, quote unquote, speaks to you is maybe, incorrect. That's how they're going to paint it. But essentially what they're saying is, I control God, and God cannot come to you that way because I do not approve of him coming to you that way. I do not approve of him telling you that the way you speak to him, the way you worship him is okay. I don't approve that. So I'm telling you, since I own my God, you are doing things wrong because I control God. That's essentially what's being said. So I just wanted to throw that out there as food for thought. Let me know if you guys encountered anybody like that, who's ever said that to you, or you had some kind of conversation like that before. And post that in the comments below. I'd love to hear your conversation on that. Love to hear your experiences. So you guys be safe, take care. And as always, you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.